The rain-slicked pavement of the Yale quad gleamed under the sodium lamps like a shattered mirror, reflecting the chaos I'd spent 4 years burying. I leaned against the brick wall of the humanities building, heart hammering as Liam's hand brushed mine. Electric? Forbidden, his alpha scent of cedar and smoke wrapping around me like a noose I didn't want to escape. Jordan, he murmured, voice low and gravelly, pulling me closer until our breaths mingled. Why do you always run from this? I didn't answer. Couldn't. Because in that split second, as his lips hovered inches from mine, the world cracked open. Headlights sliced through the downpour, tires screeching to a halt on the wet asphalt. The car door slammed like a gunshot, and there he was, Alex Hargrove, the beta director of student affairs, my boss, my tormentor, his best friend to Liam, storming toward us with eyes blazing fury, the kind that promised to unravel every lie I'd ever told. Yale in November was a beast of its own, gray skies bleeding into endless afternoons, the air thick with the promise of snow and the faint, acrid tang of fallen leaves rotting underfoot. I'd come here from a nowhere town in Ohio, 18 and wide-eyed, clutching my acceptance letter like a shield. But shields don't work when your body's a traitor. Omegas like me? We were the punchline in America's grand 8B/O experiment, the societal sorting hat that decided if you were predator, forgettable. Alphas ruled the boardrooms and the bedrooms, betas kept the wheels turning, safe and steady. Omegas? We were the soft underbelly, the ones who popped suppressants like candy to mimic beta neutrality, lest we end up as some alpha's trophy or worse. A statistic in the news about heat cycles gone wrong. I faked it from day one. Jordan, beta extraordinaire, straight A psych major, resident advisor in Saybrook College. Volunteer at the campus LGBTQ center where irony bit the hardest. No heats, no sense, no tells. Just a guy who smiled too easy and deflected too quick. It worked. Mostly. Until Liam Carver crashed into my orbit like a meteor. It started innocently enough. Or as innocent as things get when you're orbiting Alex Hargrove. Alex was the golden beta, 32, sharp-jawed, with that effortless Ivy League polish, tailored blazers over band tees, a laugh that disarmed deans and donors alike. As director of student affairs, he was the guy who mediated roommate feuds and greenlit queer prom themes, all while hiding his own steel spine. I'd interned under him sophomore year, fetching coffee and filing forms, nursing a crush I buried deeper than my omega markers. He was untouchable, the beta fortress, and I was the fool who built walls around my own heart to match. Liam was the wild card, Alex's roommate from undergrad days at Stanford, now a visiting lecturer in environmental policy. Alpha through and through, 6'3", broad-shouldered, with sun-bleached hair from summers surfing in California and eyes like storm-tossed Pacific waves, blue-gray, piercing. He smelled like the wild edge of the world, salt spray, a hint of something feral that made my suppressed pheromones twitch like a live wire. He showed up in September, crashing on Alex's couch during a conference. And suddenly the office was alive with his stories, tales of redwood hikes and anti-logging protests that had betas like me leaning in, alphas nodding respect. Our first real collision was at the Fall Mixer, one of those forced fun events where undergrads mingled with faculty over spiked punch. I was manning the photo booth, adjusting props for a gaggle of giggling freshmen, when Liam sauntered up, camera slung around his neck like a talisman. Lost your smile? Intern, he teased. Voice a rumble that vibrated through my chest. Up close, he was even more disarming, faint stubble shadowing his jaw. A faded surf tattoo peeking from his sleeve. I forced a grin. Heat suppressants holding steady. Just waiting for someone photogenic. You volunteering? To deep and unfiltered. Stepping into the booth and tugging me in after. Only if you frame it right. The flash popped, capturing us mid-laugh, my head tilted toward his shoulder, his arms slung casual around my waist. Innocent. Right. From there, it snowballed. Coffee runs turned to late-night debates in the undergrad pub, him railing against corporate greed, me countering with psych theories on power dynamics. Alex watched it all with that beta detachment, clapping Liam on the back after lectures, oblivious to the way my pulse spiked whenever their best friend banter turned my way. Jordan's got that quiet fire, Liam said once. Over burgers at Claire's Cornucopia, the New Haven staple. Alex snorted. Don't poach my best intern. I played it cool. But inside, I was unraveling. By mid-October, the flirting was blatant. Stolen glances across seminar rooms, his knee brushing mine under conference tables. Texts at 2 a.m., can't sleep. Thinking about that Foucault quote you mangled. I'd fire back, hey, I owned it. Your turn to buy the apology lot. It was harmless, I told myself. Just two guys vibing in a world that labeled us before we could speak. But labels lie. Mine especially. The night it broke was the storm I mentioned, the kind that floods basements and cancels classes, turning the quad into a ghost town. I ducked out of a late shift at the center, suppressants wearing thin from a long week, when I spotted Liam under the archway of Sterling Memorial Library. He was soaked, jacket zipped to his chin, scrolling his phone with that furrowed brow that made him look less like a professor and more like a lost poet. Carver, you look like a drowned alpha, I called, jogging over. Rain plastered my hair to my forehead, but his grin lit the dark. Hail, perfect timing. Walk me back? Alex is buried in grant proposals. We fell into step. Shoulders bumping, the downpour muffling the world. Conversation flowed easy, his latest fight with a logging exec. My paper on Omega rights in modern lit, ironic, given my facade. By the time we hit the humanities building, the air between us crackled. He stopped, turning to face me, water dripping from his lashes. Jordan, he said, softer now, hand lifting to tuck a wet strand behind my ear. His touch lingered, thumb grazing my jaw. You've been driving me crazy all semester. My breath hitched. The suppressants held, but my body betrayed me, a faint omega sweetness bleeding through, like vanilla in the rain. He didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned in, forehead to mine, scent enveloping me until I drowned. Tell me to stop, he whispered, lips brushing my temple. I didn't. Couldn't. My hands fisted in his jacket, pulling him down as thunder rolled overhead. Our mouths met, hungry, desperate, tasting of storm and secrets. His arms crushed me close, alpha strength tempered with something tender, like he knew I was fragile glass. That's when the headlights hit. Alex's Audi skidded to a stop, wipers slashing frantic arcs. He burst out, umbrella forgotten, face a mask of shock twisting into rage. What the fuck? Liam jerked back. But I was frozen, lip swollen, hard in my throat. Alex's eyes, usually calm beta hazel, flared with something primal. Betrayal carving lines into his face I'd never seen. Liam? Jordan? His voice cracked. In the goddamn rain? Liam stepped forward. Hands up. Alex. It's not. Save it. Alex's gaze locked on me. Dissecting. Accusing. Rain streamed down his face, mixing with what might have been tears. My office. Now. He spun on his heel, slamming back into the car. Liam reached for me, but I shrugged him off, the omega haze shattering into panic. Go, I muttered, voice barely mine. Just go. As his taillights faded, I stood there, soaked to the bone, realizing the hook I'd swallowed wasn't Liam's kiss. It was the lie I'd lived, and Alex Hargrove had just reeled it in. The fallout hit like a nor'easter. By morning, the campus buzzed, whispers in the dining hall about the steamy faculty scandal, texts from friends asking if I'd lost my mind hooking up with a lecturer. I ignored them, holing up in my single in Saybrook, popping extra suppressants to kill the phantom ache low in my gut. Heats were a myth for fakers like me, but the emotional whiplash? That was real as a knife twist. Alex summoned me to his office at noon, the clock tower chiming like a death knell. His domain was all exposed brick and motivational posters. Be the change, one read, mocking me from the wall. He sat behind his desk, fingers steepled, looking every inch the beta enforcer, tie loosened, sleeves rolled, but his eyes, those eyes, held a storm of their own. Sit, he said. Flat-footed, perching on the edge of the chair like it might bite. Alex. Last night, he interrupted. Fasteel. I find my best friend, my brother, mauling my intern in a public quad. And you, pardon? The kid I handpicked for every program, every opportunity. You're at the center of it. Mauling. The word stung, cheapening what had felt like air after drowning. It wasn't like that. We were just what? Flirting? Kissing? Jesus. You're a student. He's faculty. I stuck my neck out for you. He leaned forward, elbows on the desk. And that's when I saw it, the hurt, raw and bleeding under the anger. Betrayal. Not just professional, personal. I swallowed hard. I know. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. His laugh was bitter. Hello. Damn right it won't. But that's not even the half of it. He slid a folder across the desk. My file. Tabs labeled with my forged beta certification. Suppressant logs from the health center. My stomach dropped. HR flagged inconsistencies last week. Your sense. They're off. But they're omega traces. His voice dropped, laced with disgust. You've been lying to everyone. To me. The room spun. I'd been careful, rotating brands, double dosing, avoiding alphas like plague. But Liam's proximity, the stress. It must have cracked the facade. Alex. Please. It's not. Savi de sobistori. He stood, pacing to the window overlooking the quad, where students hurried bundled against the chill. Do you have any idea what this does? Omegas in admin roles? It's a lawsuit waiting. And me? I vouched for you. Trusted you. The words landed like punches. Trusted. That's what gutted me, the implication that my Omega status made me untrustworthy by default. America's A, B/O laws were progressive on paper, equal rights, sent neutral workplaces, but in practice, Omegas were sidelined, scented as disruptive. I'd hidden to chase dreams, not to deceive. Tears pricked my eyes, hot and unwelcome. I did it to survive. To be seen as. Not some label. Expressions softening a fraction, pity, regret? Then why flirt with Liam? He's Alpha Central. You think he wants the mess? I flinched. You don't know what he wants. And you do? After one rainy makeout? Alex sighed, rubbing his temples. Jordan. I care about you. That's why this hurts. Suspend the internship. Get your sense sorted. And stay the hell away from my best friend. Dismissed. Like trash. I bolted, the door clicking shut behind me with finality. The hallway blurred, sobs choking out as I hit the stairwell. Halfway down, my phone buzzed. Liam, what the hell happened? Alex is ripping me a new one. Call me. I didn't. Instead, I texted, it's over before it started. Sorry. But over? Lies like mine don't end clean. They fester. Winter clamped down on New Haven like a vice, icicles daggering from Gothic spires, wind howling through the gates as if mourning the ghosts of Eliot and Hemingway. I threw myself into finals, burying the ache under flashcards and caffeine, but Liam's texts piled up like snowdrifts. Talk to me. Please. I ghosted them all. Coward that I was. Alex's words echoed, stay away, a beta edict I couldn't defy without risking expulsion. My Omega secret was a live grenade now, one pull of the pin, and my Yale dreams detonated. The betrayal simmered subtle at first. Alex didn't out me. Mercy? Maybe. Or strategy. He just erased me. No more office invites. No nods in the hall. I was invisible. The intern who'd overstepped. It stung worse than rage, indifference from the man whose approval I'd craved like oxygen. Liam wouldn't fade so easy. He cornered me after psych seminar. Early December. The lecture hall emptying into frosted air. Snow dusted his coat, melting into dark spots as he blocked the door. Expression thunderous. Running games over. Jordan. His voice was low. Alpha timbre vibrating the space between us. Up close. Unscented by choice, alphas could mask. But rarely did. He was a force, broad frame filling the frame. Eyes searching mine with that intensity that unraveled knots. I clutched my bag like armor. Liam. I can't. Alex. Fuck Alex. The curse hung, startling from his usual eloquence. He's projecting. Always has. That night, he wasn't mad about ethics. He was jealous. Jealous? The word ricocheted. Absurd. Alex Hargrove, beta poster boy. Jealous of an Omega pretender? You're delusional. Am I? He stepped closer. Heat radiating. Careful not to touch. He's been in love with you since last spring. Buried it under mentor bullshit. Seeing you with me? Broke something in him. My laugh was brittle. Cracking. Because a beta like him would want an omega fraud. Liam's jaw tightened. You're no fraud. You're Auden, smart, funny. The guy who quotes Auden at dive bars and makes policy nerds blush. His hand ghosted my arm. Feather light. And if sense matter? Yours. It's like home. Like fresh bread and rain-soaked earth. Real. Tears welled. Traitorous. No one had ever said that, seen past the mask to the pull of what I was. You don't get it. If it came out, then it comes out. He cupped my face. Thumbs brushing cheeks. With me. Let me in. The kiss was inevitable. Snowflakes melting on our lashes as he claimed me against the cold stone wall. Slow this time. Exploratory, tongues tangling. His growl vibrating into my moan. Alpha Omega pull hummed beneath. My body arching instinctive. Suppressants be damned. For a moment, the world was just us, his hands in my hair. My fingers tracing the tattoo under his collar. Hearts sinking in frantic rhythm. We broke apart gasping. Foreheads pressed. Dinner, he murmured. Friday. My place. No, Alex. I nodded. Dizzy. Fragile as hoarfrost. Bloomed. Friday came with a blizzard warning. But we defied it. Liam's off-campus apartment was a converted mill loft, exposed beams, bookshelves groaning under tomes on ecology, a kitchen island scarred from too many late-night experiments. He cooked seared scallops with lemon risotto, wine poured loose. We talked for hours, his failed engagement to a beta activist. She wanted stability, I wanted wildfire. My Ohio roots, small town where omegas marry young or leave broken. Laughter flowed easy, barriers crumbling. By the fire, crackling in a stone hearth, he pulled me onto the rug, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces. Clothes shed slow, reverent, his shirt revealing plains of muscle etched from trail runs. My skin flushing under his gaze. Beautiful, he breathed, tracing freckles across my chest, dipping lower to where omega sensitivity thrummed. I gasped as his mouth followed, hot and insistent, unraveling me thread by thread. No suppressants that night, I'd stopped cold turkey. Scents blooming full, vanilla warmth laced with desire's edge. He inhaled deep, groaning approval. His alpha response hardening against my thigh. We moved together. Unhurried, fingers exploring, lips mapping scars and sighs. When he entered me, it was poetry, slow thrust, eyes locked, my nails digging crescents into his back as pleasure crested, wave after shattering wave. Tangled in sheets scented with us, he whispered, I love you. Simple. True. I echoed it back, chest cracking open. But Eden has serpents. Alex found out. How? I'll never know. A misplaced scarf? A whiff on Liam's collar? Monday morning. He hauled me into his office again. Door locked. Blinds drawn. The air was thick. Beta neutrality cracked with something sharper, anger, but laced with anguish. You're screwing my best friend. Not a question. Statement. Venom dipped. I stood tall. Omega fire kindled. It's none of your business. He slammed a fist on the desk. Photos scattering, candid shots from the mixer. Us laughing in the booth. It is when you're using him to spite me. Pretending beta to climb. then spreading for the first alpha who winks. The accusation burned. I'm not pretending anymore. And it's not spite. It's real. Real. To manic. You think Liam wants a heat-riddled omega? He'll tire of the drama. Leave you crying in some dorm. The cynic. I lived it. Lived it? The slip hung. But he barreled on. Resign the internship. Or I tell HR about the fraud. Your choice. Threat. Pure betrayal, from mentor to inquisitor. You destroy me too. What? Keep him. His face crumpled. Mask slipping. To protect you. From him. From this. Protect. The word twisted, revealing the rot beneath. Jealousy? Yes, but twisted into control. Beta privilege masquerading as care. I saw it then. Alex's mentorship wasn't guidance, it was possession, molding me into his ideal beta shadow. I walked out, head high, straight to the registrar. Dropped the internship that afternoon. Liam met me after. Arms wrapping tight as I vented the poison. He's lost it, I said. Tears freezing on cheeks. Threatened to out me. Liam's growl was thunder. I'll handle Alex. But handling fractured more than mended. Christmas break loomed. A reprieve. I fled to Ohio for family dinners with Mama's pecan pie. Dodging questions about that Yale boy. Back in January, the quad was a winter wonderland. Fairy lights strung for MLK week. But undercurrents roiled. Liam and I stole moments, study sessions turning steamy in the rare books room. Walks along the harbor where his hand in mine felt like rebellion. Alex lurked. A specter. He cornered Liam at a faculty mixer, words exchanged sharp. Voices rising until security hovered. Liam came home bruised. Not physically, but eyes shadowed. He said, you're playing me. That omegas always do, lure alphas then bolt when it gets hard. I held him. Fury coiling. He's lying. To hurt us. But doubt seeded. Was I? The pull between us deepened, romantic dinners at Union League Cafe. Whispered I love yous under starless skies, but my body rebelled. First heat hit mid-February. A fever dream of need that had me barricaded in my room. Liam locked out despite his pleas. Let me help, he begged through the door. Voice wrecked. I couldn't, fear of dependency. Of becoming the stereotype Alex painted. He waited it out. Alpha's loyalty a quiet strength. Bringing soup and audiobooks when I emerged shaky. But we rebuilt. Stronger, therapy sessions at the center, ironic. Counseling my own facade. Scent sharing rituals that bound us soul deep. Yet the noose tightened. March brought whistleblowers, anonymous emails to the provost. Concerns about inappropriate relationships and falsified designations. Alex's hand? Undeniable. The investigation launched. Dragging us into hearings, sterile rooms where deans dissected our texts. Sense analyzed like crime scenes. Liam fought fierce, testifying to our consent. Our equality. Love isn't alpha omega, it's people. Followed. Voice steady. I hid to thrive. Not deceive. Exposing that shouldn't end dreams. But the board leaned conservative. Beta majority. Whispers of disruption echoing Alex's playbook. Suspension loomed for Liam, expulsion for me. The night before verdict. We lay in his loft. City lights painting stripes on skin. If we lose this, I whispered, tracing his jaw. Run with me. California. Your redwoods. He kissed my palm. Anywhere. Always. Dawn brought the hammer, probation for us both. Internship voided permanently. Alex? Reprimanded for overreach, but promoted, politics shielding betas. Betrayal's bitter fruit. We endured. Romance forging in fire, spring protests on Beinecke Plaza. Hands linked against A, B/O reform banners. Love deepened, lazy Sundays in bed. His head on my chest. My fingers in his hair, arguments over takeout that ended in makeup sex. Bodies slick and synced. But scars lingered. Alex avoided us. A ghost in the halls. Until one rainy April evening. He cornered me outside the center, umbrella in hand, eyes hollowed by regret. Jordan. Voice cracked. I was wrong. Of losing you both. I paused. Rain pattering. You almost did. He nodded. Swallowing. Liam forgave me. Sort of. Can you? Forgiveness? Human. Mess. Maybe. But trust? That's earned. He extended a hand, not mentors, but equals. Tentative bridge over chasm. Summerbeck. Graduation's glow. Liam proposed under the oak by Harkness Tower, not ring, but vow, build a life. Unlabeled. I said yes. Omega heart full. Graduation weekend hit Yale like a fever dream, black gowns swirling under blue skies. Families flooding the streets with proud tears and overpriced bouquets. I walked the stage. Diploma crisp. Omega sense masked one last time, not for hiding, but habit. Liam cheered loudest from the alumni section. Alex beside him, clapping with forced enthusiasm. The rift mended fragile. Their friendship stitched with apologies and bourbon-fueled bro nights. I was the thread. Pulling taut. Post-commencement brunch at the Union League was a minefield. Toasts to futures. Undercurrents of what's. Mama squeezed my hand under the table. Her Omega intuition sharp. That alpha boy's eyes follow you like scripture. Honey. I blushed. Deflecting to Dad's beta pride in my psych degree. Alex hovered. Awkward third wheel. Offering congratulations that landed heavy. Proud of you, Jordan. Really? Liam's foot nudged mine under the damask cloth, anchor. To new beginnings, he toasted later. Glass raised. Blue eyes locking mine. We clinked. Promise sealed. But America doesn't do neat bows. June brought the Real storm, a New York Times expose on Ivy League A, B/O cover-ups. My forged certs anonymized but damning. Protests erupted, campuses ablaze with chants for disclosure laws. Omegas chaining to admin buildings. Yale spun it as isolated, but eyes turned to Alex, the director who'd overlooked red flags. He called me that night. Voice frayed over the line. They're gunning for me. Board meeting tomorrow. If I go down. It implicates you. Guilt twisted. Fight it. Tell them the truth about the threats. Silence stretched. Then, truth? I leaked the emails. To protect the school. From scandal. Betrayal. Round 2. My blood ran cold. You what? After everything? I thought, if it came from concerned faculty, they'd clean house quietly. Not this. Desperation cracked his polish. Liam's furious. Help me. Jordan. Please. I hung up. Shaking. Dialing Liam. He admitted it. The leak. Liam's curse echoed mine. Bastard. I'll confront him. Don't. Exhaustion weighted me. Let karma clip his wings. But karma's a slow blade. The board suspended Alex pending review, demotion loomed. His beta facade cracking public. Reporters swarmed the quad. Mics thrusting like spears. Mr. Comments on Omega discrimination. He stonewalled. But leaks multiplied. His emails. My file. Liam's testimony twisted into alpha favoritism. We holed up in the loft. News droning background as summer humidity thickened the air. Love became refuge, lazy afternoons tangled in sheets. His body a map I memorized, shoulder blades like wings. The dip of his spine leading to heaven. You're my constant, he'd murmur. Fingers tracing my suppressant's faint scars. Now badges of survival. Yet doubt crept? Omega insecurities whispering, he's alpha, you'll always be the fragile one. He sensed it? Countering with actions, cooking vegan experiments gone gloriously wrong, driving us to Block Island for salt air escapes where we skinny dipped at midnight, waves crashing applause. One such night, bonfire flickering on the beach. He dropped to one knee, not proposal redux, but confession. I talked to Alex today. He's resigning. Moving to DC. Policy gig. Waves sighing. He said, he loved you. That's why the sabotage. To free you from me. Wind stole my breath. Alex's? The puzzle clicked, stolen glances in office hours. Mentorship, lunches too intimate. Jealousy masked as protection. And you? Forgive him. Liam's jaw worked. For you? Trying. He pulled me down. Sand gritting skin as we made love under stars, fierce. Reclaiming. His alpha rut sinking my omega glow until climax shattered us. Cries lost to surf. Back in New Haven. Fractures showed. Alex's goodbye party was subdued, colleagues toasting his service, eyes sliding away. He pulled me aside in the garden. Fairy lights haloing his defeat. Thinner. Unshaven. The beta gleam dulled. I ruined us. All three. His voice broke. Hand trembling on a scotch. You were light in that office, Jordan. Made me question everything, my beta safety net. The lies we tell to fit. Tears tracked his cheeks. Mirroring mine. Humid. Why confess now? Because love's not possession. It's release. Bone crushing. Then Liam. Words lost in shoulder clap. Take care of him. Or I'll haunt you. He left at dawn. Taillights fading east. Grief hollowed us. But space breathed new air. Liam and I dove into fall, him adjuncting at Columbia. Me grad school apps for clinical psych. Focusing omega trauma. Our romance evolved. Video calls across states. Weekend reunions in Brooklyn brownstones where we argued rent prices and dreamed adoptions. Kids unlabeled. Love fierce. October brought my first unmasked heat since coming out. Raw. Horrible. Liam at my side in our new shared apartment overlooking the East River. He tended with grace, cool cloths. Whispered stories of coastal trails. His touch soothing fever without claiming dominance. When need peaked, we merged, Alpha not locking us hours. Pleasure a symphony of gasps and endearments. Mitha, he growled. But soft, ours. Post-heat haze. Vulnerability spilled. Scared I'll break us, I admitted. Head on his chest. He kissed my brow. We bent. Together. Thanksgiving tested. Family in Ohio. His in Cali. We split, me dodging mom's matchmaking. Him surviving Alpha Dad barbecues, reuniting in a Newark diner. Greasy spoons and gratitude. Next year, he vowed. Our table. December snowed us in. Christmas Eve tangled in tinsel and takeout. But New Year's dawn crisis. A call from Yale, legacy lawsuit. Omega's suing for discrimination. My name as plaintiff bait. Testify, the lawyer pressed. Your story's gold. Liam paced. Conflicted. Exposes you again. Or heals others. Decision crystallized. I sued, not for revenge, but reform. The trial was circus, Manhattan courtroom. Flashes popping as I took the stand. I hid because the system forced it, I said. Voice steady under scrutiny. Betas like Alex enforced it. Thinking protection. Alphas like Liam showed me truth, equality in vulnerability. Alex testified too, reluctant witness. His DC polish chipped. I betrayed trust. Torden's? Liam's. For fear of what I couldn't control. His eyes met mine across the room, apology etched. Accepted. Verdict, settlement millions. Policy overhauls, sent blind hiring. Omega mentorship mandates. Victory tasted bittersweet. Champagne flat without Alex's rye toast. Spring bloomed renewal, our commitment ceremony in Central Park, small. Queer circle of friends. Vows exchanged under cherry blossoms. In Scents and Storms, Liam said. Ring sliding home, simple band. Engraved with Auden, we must love one another or die. No Alpha Omega pomp, just us. Human. Yet life twists. Summer heat wave. Liam's adjunct gig extended, PhD push in policy. I started clinic rotations. Counseling young Omegas with mirrors of my masks. Romance simmered domestic, farmers markets in Union Square. Arguments over whose turn for dishes ending in kitchen counter trysts. August brought the ghost, Alex. Emailing from DC. Heard about the win. Beers? For old times. Liam greenlit. We met at a dive near the Capitol, neon buzzing. Jukebox crooning Springsteen. Awkward hugs thawed over IPAs. Stories spilling. His policy wins on Omega rights. Our adoption talks. You're happy, Alex noted. Eyes soft on our linked hands. Good. You? I asked. Healing. Smile ghosted. Seeing you too. Fixed something. No rekindle, just closure. A triad mended platonic. He hugged goodbye. Whispering to me, love him fierce. Deserves it. We drove back north. Windows down. His hand in mine. Family? Liam asked. Yeah, I breathed. Ours. Fall 2026 painted the Hudson Valley in fire, leaves torching the hills as Liam and I settled into our first real home. A creaky Victorian in Beacon, an hour north of the city. Commuter life suited us. Him lecturing at Vassar. Me telehealth counseling from a sunlit office overlooking the river. Love had marinated into rhythm, mornings with coffee and crosswords, evenings with trail runs where his alpha stride matched my omega pace. No suppressants chaining us. But humanity's arc bends slow. National headlines screamed A/B/O backlash, conservative senators railing against cent socialism, protests turning violent in D.C. Alex texted warnings, stay low. Feds sniffing for poster boys. We did. But ripples hit home. A client? Teen Omega from Jersey? Hospitalized after a hate-fueled assault. I held her file. Tears blurring. Rage coiling. We fought for this, I told Liam that night. Curled on the porch swing. He pulled me close. Cedars sent grounding. And we'll keep fighting. Together. October surprise, fertility news. We danced around kids, adoption dreams deferred by grad school grind, but a routine check revealed my omega biology humming prime. Natural conception viable, the doc said. Charts glowing. Panic and joy ward, us? Parents? In this mess? Liam's grin split wide. Little hail caver. Redwood roots and Ohio grit. We dove in, nights mapping nurseries. Days devouring books on queer parenting. Conception was poetry, full moon ritual in our garden. Candles flickering as he loved me slow. Bodies sinking in ancient dance. Positive test 2 weeks later, pink lines stark. Tears streaming as we hooped. Collapsing in laughter and limbs. Pregnancy unfolded magic and mundane. First trimester nausea battled by his ginger tea runs. Ultrasounds revealing tiny heartbeat like Morse code promise. Alex visited Thanksgiving, train from D.C. Arms laden with artisanal pie. Eyes widening at my subtle bump. Auntie Alex? He joked. Hand hovering reverent. Uncle, Liam corrected. Clapping his back. Dinner flowed easy, turkey debates. Policy rants. My hand on swell as kicks fluttered. Strong, Alex murmured. Palm pressing gentle. Like you. Winter wrapped us cozy, snow blanketing the hills. Holidays lit with strings of lights. But January chilled, Liam's father. Alpha patriarch from Cali. Announced visit. Time to meet the family, he boomed over video. Eyes appraising my curve. Dread nodded, old school alpha. Whispers of omega burdens. He arrived gale force, broad as Liam. Silvered temples. Grip crushing handshakes. Dinner was trial, steak rare. Stories of boardroom conquests. When talk turned sense, he leaned in, boy. You masking? Traditions for strength. Liam's fork clattered. The Jordan's omega proud. No masks. Tension crackled. I held breath. But the elders surprised, eyes softening on my belly. The world needs more like that. For not hidden. He clapped my shoulder later. Gruff, grandkid'll have your fire. Relief flooded. Bridge built. Alex called post-visit. Survived the Inquisition? Proud. Spring swelled with me, bump rounding. Kicks like drum solos. Clinic thrived. Groups for Omega dads. Sessions unpacking betrayal scars. Liam built crib from reclaimed wood. Hands calloused from hikes. Singing off-key to the bump. Hush little baby. Don't say a word. Birth came Mayfresh. Labor in Beacon Hospital. Windows framing greening hills. Hours blurred. Contractions crashing. Liam's hand vice grip. His whispers anchor. You've got this. Warrior. Push after push. And then, cry-piercing, tiny and fierce. Elias Jordan Carver Hale, 7 pounds. Tuft of dark hair. Eyes squinting blue-gray like his dad's. Holding him. Slick and squalling. World nerd of liquid and infinite. Liam's tears matched mine. Forehead to mine over the bundle. Perfect. Alex flew up days later. Hotel crash. Arms full of onesies monogrammed future activist. He cradled Elias awkward. Beta tenderness blooming. Looks like you. Jordan. Trouble. Family fractal. Past pains woven into present grace. Years unspooled tapestry. Elias toddling trails. Chubby fists grabbing leaves. Babbling to both. Liam's book deal, Scentless Revolutions, topped charts. Tours balanced by video story times. My practice expanded. Podcast on Omega resilience going viral. Alex dated, a fellow policy wonk. Beta with laugh like bells. Double dates in D.C., monuments at dusk. Debates over dim sum. Betrayals echo faded. Replaced by brotherhood. Elias's 5th birthday, backyard bash under oaks. Rainbow balloons bobbing. He chased fireflies. Giggles lighting dusk. While we 3 dads, Liam grilling. Me frosting cake. Alex wrangling piñata, watched. Hearts full. That night. Stars pricking velvet sky. Elias asleep between us. Liam murmured. Pretended Omega once. But real as this. I kissed him soft. Better. Crossed the yard. Alex raised a beer in silent toast. We'd all pretended beta shields. Alpha stoics. Omega ghosts. But truth? It set us free. Human. Loving fierce. America's mess. But ours to mend. Epilogue whisper, Elias. Age 10. School project on family trees. Daddy Jordan Omega strong. He scrawls. Crayons bold. Papa Liam Wildheart. Uncle Alex fixer. We frame it. Gallery of us, rain-kissed quad to firefly fields. Pretenses shed. Story written in scents and scars. Love wins. Quiet revolution.